Hi everybody, blessings from B. I'm here in Gran Canaria watching the sunset and marveling at the beauty of the land here, marveling at the kindness of the people here, marveling at the way that, for some reason my other half thought that this was a place where there was no goddess community, was no, you know, goddess stuff going on for once. 3 years ago, he took me to this place, and his wish was for me to just relax and not run around and not go from historical site to historical site. And he decided Gran Canaria was going to be the place. And what he didn't realize is that, of course, here there is the closest to me remembering of the goddess, because when the conquistadores came here in the 1400s, there was the native population was still living in caves, did amazing art, cave art, but living in caves, living very much like our Neolithic people, and that made it possible for the conquistadores to kill them off, or a lot of them killed themselves. And there's a lot about the history here. They saw the way that these men especially took their own lives rather than be slaves to the Spaniards. There is something noble in that. I mean, we're not talking about the noble savage, because to me there's, in that way, the Spaniards, the conquistadors, were the savages coming here and destroying the beauty and killing everybody. But what I love about this island is how close I feel to my goddess here. How close I feel to Cerridwen here. Now, some people may say, what are you talking about? You're sitting, 5 meters from Africa. How can this possibly be a place where a Celtic goddess can even be found? Well, I tell you this, there is a goddess here called Tara, and she's still very present for the people here. And of course, they're very proud of their ancestors. They're very proud of the people who followed Tara. And I feel that has a sort of impact on me as a goddess-loving woman, that they are still so deeply immersed in their goddess worship. But the other thing is that there are so many correlations between Tara and between Cerridwen. And I always said to people, you have to be really careful that we don't start annexing the goddess. Yeah. So what I mean by that is, what do we actually know about her place of birth? What do we know about the first people who worshipped Cerridwen? I mean, we know that Cerridwen, the name itself, is actually a amalgamation of 3 different parts. So we know Wen is either white, light, or goddess, or divine being. So that's cool. We don't know what the Rid means. People have made up all sorts of stories about that, the bent one, blah, 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 blah. But somebody very clearly said that it has to do with the sickle of the moon, that she is a moon goddess. Now, I like that idea, and it feels right to me. And I think what we need to do far more of is to actually accept what's right for us and let be what other people are saying to us. So I encourage you to make up your own mind. And Ker is a goddess, Keres is a goddess that is an ancient goddess. I don't know whether Cerridwen or Ker is part of Keres, which was quite a bloodthirsty goddess at one point. But again, human beings take these divine beings and they put their own stamp on them, and they create these rituals that are incredibly cruel in order to, make sure that everybody knows that she's their goddess and she looks after them. It's not about belonging. I mean, we all can belong. I would love everybody to feel they belong with Cerridwen. But this is about taking the goddess and annexing her. What I mean by that is saying, this is our goddess and you can't have her. You can't work with her, you can't have her. There's a lot of that going on, especially in the neo-pagan. I mean, I want to emphasize that again. Neo-pagan, yeah? We are reclaiming the goddess. So I deny everyone the right to say, this is our goddess and you can't work with her because you're not from our land. Nonsense, absolute nonsense, because we don't know where the goddess actually comes from that we work with. So, I mean, look at Jesus and Mary. They're from Israel or from Canaan. Yeah, they're not from this country. They're not from Britain. They're not from Spain. And yet everybody works with them. So are you going to deny billions of Christian people the right to work with these two people because they don't come from that land? It just doesn't make any sense. So the same goes for Cerridwen. We also know that Cerridwen didn't come from Wales. The Celtic people came to Wales and they died there. Thousands of years before that, they traveled all the world. They were perhaps the lost tribe of Canaan. Perhaps they were, I mean, to me personally, I believe that the North American Indians or First Nation Americans and the Northern Indian community in India, that they have really marked resemblances to how they described the Celtic people in Roman times. Yeah, the skin tone, the hairs, all of that really reminds me of the way, and they would be very similar to the people on this island. They would look very similar to the people here in this island. And so, what do we know? Maybe she is from here, maybe she's not. Who cares? What I care about is that I am allowed to worship this amazing being. And again, somebody said to me, well, all goddesses are one goddess. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. It's not my belief. I feel the energies are different. When I did the Avalon training, and since then, we're talking 2016, I have embodied and had the energy of almost every, or actually of every goddess in the wheel of Avalon in me. I have been the vessel for every single one of them. And I promise you that Ata, whose time it is now, the great bear mother, is a completely different energy to, for example, Rhiannon, who's coming next. Yeah, Rhiannon, completely different energy. And then again, completely different energy to Domnu. One of the things that I really would like to emphasize as well is that for me, Cerridwen is a goddess of the sea. Now, there will be hundreds and thousands of people who will disagree with me, and I don't really care. I have seen her in the sea. I have felt her energy. I swam Lake Bala. I know what she feels like. And so to me, this is reality. When I go into the waters here behind me, I can feel her embrace. I can feel her hold me. I can feel her lift me with her warm waters. It's almost like she's pushing me out over and over again, being reborn over and over again. So as far as I'm concerned, that's Cerridwen to me. And I would love to invite everyone who wants to work with her to find the Cerridwen that's right for you. Yes, she's the Dark Mother. I mean, it is getting really lovely and dark here in a minute. And yes, she is the Dark Mother. And when you sit here in the darkness of the night, there is something so incredibly beautiful about it. I love it. I love it because it's silken, it's sensuous, it's gorgeous, it's enveloping, it is beautiful, and it's not scary at all. The darkness of this goddess is an embrace, is a loving, kind embrace, holding you to her bosom, showing you that she is your Dark Mother and that you are always loved. So that is Cerridwen for me here in Gran Canaria and everywhere in the world. I carry her in my heart, I carry her in my soul, and I carry her everywhere. Blessed be.